Lisa the Iconoclast is an episode in which Lisa discovers a dark secret about the town founder, Jebediah Springfield. Along the way, she battles the town historian who constantly tries to stop her, and by constantly, what I really mean is incompetently. So incompetently that it kinda makes you wonder. So for today's episode, we're taking a look at the Jebediah Springfield conspiracy, and basically trying to answer, what the hell is up with Hollis Hurlbut? Look at this guy. See that mustache? That is one untrustworthy mustache. People are talking about it, you know. Now I'll be upfront with you right here. This isn't a video where we debate whether or not Jebediah Springfield was actually a murderous pirate. The evidence is pretty clear that he was. We don't do that kind of truther stuff here. No, instead, this is one of those plot nerdery mysteries, kind of like the analysis of Bart Sells' Soul. There's something up with the plot of Lisa the Iconoclast, and it all centers around this mysterious Hollis Hurlbut character. He is a character who repeatedly tries to stop Lisa from revealing the truth, but at the same time, doesn't actually do anything to stop her. He's covering the whole thing up, but leaving it open for anyone to figure it out. He's a very casual conspirator, if you know what I mean. If you think about it, his behavior is completely and utterly irrational. It's so irrational that you start to question whether there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. What are Hollis Hurlbut's motivations, and what does he actually know? To answer this, let's take a look at what Mr. Hurlbut actually does in the episode. First, he leaves the display case wide open for Lisa to discover the confession. When confronted by the truth, he immediately denies it, throws away the confession, and bans her from the society. For 3 months. He leaves the crumpled up confession in the trash for Lisa to use later. He steals the silver tongue right under everyone's noses. He hides it in plain sight in one of the dioramas. And finally, he lets Lisa bully him into finding out where the silver tongue is. You see where I'm going with this? A lot of these items fit in with his official characterization, painting him as someone trying to cover up the real story. But the other half is a portrait of someone who doesn't really care if the truth is exposed. Someone who doesn't mind when a visitor pokes around in the historical artifacts. Doesn't bother destroying or concealing a nasty confession letter. Someone who steals the most damning piece of evidence and then puts it on display to mock everyone who visits. The canonical explanation for the last part is the old hiding in plain sight chestnut. But come on! If it's this ridiculously important that it needs covering up, why don't you just throw it in a box in your garage? He's not an evil James Bond villain with a heightened sense of irony, he's just some local historian guy. Obviously he does this because the episode needs him to do this. If he burns the confession and throws the silver tongue in a safe, then Lisa can't prove anything and there's no episode. I believe the official reason he does all of this is that he's just stupid. The Simpsons is a show where characters do stupid things, and that's funny, so why not? He's just stupid. Even though he's not really portrayed as a stupid character and the moments aren't really played for laughs, we're just gonna go as stupid. To be honest, I kind of hate this answer and kind of want to give the writers of Season 7 the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if we can come up with a better explanation. I will admit, this is a tough problem to solve. I've actually put this video off for a while because I couldn't figure out exactly why a person would rationally behave like this. If you have a possible explanation that I'm overlooking, let me know in the comments, but here is my explanation for what happened. First of all, I think it's extremely likely that Hollis Hurlbut knew the Hans Sprungfeld story from the get-go. He is an expert on colonial American history. If Hans Sprungfeld was a notorious pirate who tried to assassinate George Washington, then he would have been a notable enough figure for a historian like Mustaches McGee to know about. It doesn't exactly take a genius to put these two figures together. They look almost exactly alike, and Jebediah Springfield had no documented history before 1795. You would think a historian would try to figure this out. He doesn't even necessarily have to know about the confession. I would guess that he probably would have discovered it eventually, but it's debatable. Maybe it just sat in that case forever. But the way he cavalierly opens the display case makes you think he fondles the stuff late at night. I mean, he just handles them sometimes. That's it. Don't look at me that way. Remember how quickly he just shoots down Lisa's theory when she presents it. No questions, no thinking about its validity, just an immediate rebuke of the theory. Hey, it's almost like he's heard this theory before and has already rejected it in his mind. The problem with him is that he's a historian. If he were a Scooby-Doo villain, he could just cover the whole thing up the right way and scare Lisa away with an elaborate hologram system. And destroy all the evidence when it comes up. But he can't do that. It goes against everything he stands for as a historian. So he just leaves everything be. It will be found and revealed eventually, it just won't be by him. He can go on being paid his lavish historian salary, and then maybe when he wants to buy a boat, he can write a book or something. He's also a coward. This is a character who basically gets bullied by an 8-year-old child into revealing where he hid the silver tongue. That's pretty bad. Now, it's entirely possible if he revealed the truth that the town would throw money at him to do pirate history. America loves his pirates. But he doesn't seem like the type who would take the risk. If the thing has to come out, especially in the middle of the town bicentennial, then he's going to have nothing to do with it. The official stance of the Historical Society is that Jebediah Springfield was a hero. Wink wink, nudge nudge. We'll just let an 8-year-old girl throw that controversial theory out there. If someone, for example, took a shot at her, it's not the Historical Society's fault. The truth had to come out eventually, right? And no, I don't think Mr. Hurlbut, despite his mustache, is so sinister that he knew they would try to assassinate the whistleblower, and just hang Lisa out to dry. But it kind of demonstrates the environment he was working in at the time. Apu was absolutely terrified of a potential mob. When Lisa told the barflies about the theory, Mo basically reported them to the thought police. Lisa and Homer were dragged into town hall by police officers. If Hollis Hurlbut is a coward, then maybe he's a smart coward given how gung-ho everybody is. I think he knew exactly how damaging the timing would be for the reveal, which is why he stole the silver tongue at the time. You would think that if he 100% wants the truth revealed, he would have just let them discover it. But if it's discovered at that moment, no more parade, no more celebration of history, no more bicentennial. Instead, Springfield will be reduced to its equilibrium state, an angry mob. Happy frickin' birthday, Springfield. Couldn't we just wait until everyone isn't beaming with town pride? If Lisa wants to come back in, say, 3 months and unmask the whole thing, sure, fine, whatever. Let's leave the confession lying around. Maybe we can keep this whole history is not totally boring thing going for another year. Who knows? I like to think of Hollis Hurlbut as being someone who basically came to the exact same conclusion that Lisa did. He just figured it out slightly before her and became guardian of the secret. It's just that his sense of historical preservation and his meek nature gets in the way of a real cover-up. I think deep down, Hollis Hurlbut wants Lisa to succeed. He just can't reconcile whether or not the town will be able to live with the truth. I don't think there's a completely satisfying answer to some of these issues presented in Lisa the Iconoclast. Maybe we just have to chalk it up to a couple faulty elements in the plot. It's the kind of situation that demonstrates that even the most minor oversight in plot logic can make character motivations a little shaky. But at the very least, this analysis will hopefully spotlight a minor guest character on the show and make the intricate chess game between he and Lisa far more interesting. Or maybe he's just stupid. I don't know.